Good morning and good afternoon, Professor. Today, I'm gonna do the presentation online so I can send it to you so you can understand what I was right about regarding the biography about Chris Rock. Okay, this is the book. I know that you read that book before. That's the book that I was writing about regarding to my essay about Chris Rock. Okay, the biography. So, by saying straight, after that I read in the book, I learned so much about his life, and his life mean a lot, a lot to me. It's a story. I will say, because the way that he brought up from when he was a child, become an adult, a teenager become an adult, that's a big motivation in my life. So for saying. So therefore, I'm gonna talk to you about Chris Rock. Chris Rock was born in 1965 in North Carolina. So he was born in North Carolina in 1965, and Chris Rock was born came to a poor family. His father and his mother was fighting to get end meal. So Chris Rock is his life is kind of like the epitome of poverty. So, make story short, to begin with, Chris Rock, after Chris was born in North Carolina, his father and his mother came to move into New York, move to New York State. So, when the family moved to New York State, they were facing so much hard time to raise the family. The father turned out to get a news delivery truck, to work at the daily news delivery. And the mother was working at the daycare. It's some kind of the educational daycare, they teaching kids everything. Okay? So Chris Rock, throughout his growing up, as he become a teenager, he just happened to go to work for McDonald's, work at McDonald's as a cashier, sometimes work in the back of the grill, and to out like working as a grill, but the money wasn't enough for him. So he go also work to a discount store in New York. So to tell you where he came from, Chris Rock not only that type, the typical teenager like the mother and the father, but the mother and the father can provide for him to support him. They can provide for him to support him. But he's got his ideology, his mentality, that he want to do his own thing. So therefore, he quit school and drop out in high school, and then go outside the world, try to make his own. But remember, the neighborhood that they living in the bad neighborhood, which is the brownstone, they call it right now. But the neighborhood they were growing up is called sometimes the neighborhood where the most black people were staying at in Brooklyn. So now, by staying there, living there for his life, growing up, he's happened to go doing very well in comedy. You know, that was his first step as a comedian. He started as a comedian guy, and then work his way up, and then happen, to met certain people. He was a very funny guy. Enjoy this laugh out show. Do so many comedian, interact with many other people, and then that's why I start getting known, and make it to the try to make it to the top. But Remember, in life is not as you expect as you're growing up. Sometimes the thing that you thought you cannot be successful on turn out for something else. But in Chris Rock's story is a different part of the story. When you look at his work, when he went to work, for instance, like he got his first job he got his first job, doing gigs at the TV show, HBO, all those kind of gigs, doing it was in Comedy Central, like doing working in Saturday Night Live and doing all those things. So what I learned about him was is some kind the inverse, which is like sometimes you know that you're doing something, and at the end, and then you saw it wasn't meet to where you're going, what you have in mind, because his dream is very big, you know. In 1990s, that's when he got some kind of anxiety of failure. He realized that, oh my God, what I'm doing. He realized those little gigs, those little show aside, this and side, wasn't making any sense for him. He was like, wow, I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm a movie. I'm this and that. There's nothing that I can do to myself to make myself much better. But it wasn't working. It was going down literally. So now, by mid-90s, he realized that he was thinking about of Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was one of the top 10 comedian all the time. Richard Pryor. He was the top comedian. But by saying that, he was like, oh my God. Now he keep look up to him. He said, you know what? All those things not working out for me. Let me focus in Richard Pryor. So Richard Pryor was a inspiration for him. So now, by focus on him, that's when he redraw the line, saying, you know what? Let me be successful. Let me be myself. Let me pull myself out more. Be a stand-up comedian. Let me come out more. And that's what brought Chris Rock to the top. That's the reason why Chris Rock make it. By the early 2000, that's when Chris Rock become a big star. He's happy in the movies. He's become a director. He's become so much thing. It's become bigger than where he never been before. So now, by being the top, make it to the top. I can look at him, say, you know what? He been there, done that. He been to a bad neighborhood. He been a hustler. Hang out with bad kids. Make his own thing. He don't need his parents' support. He do it himself. He come up to himself. Now I'm looking at his life. He's like a big icon because he got a family, he got a wife, he got kids. I mean, everybody look up to him. But therefore, that's what you can see in the story. Life is not that easy and simple until you put your best foot forward and know what's best for you. But according to Chris Rock's story, he's one of my best inspirators. I'm inspired by him through the story. I think Chris Rock not only known as a comedian, but is known as a survivor. And that's what I love about Chris Rock. Thank you, Professor I'm I'm glad that I cannot be in the class to show more, but at least I explain the book that I was reading. So I did the essay so you can look at it. Thank you, Professor. Bye.